Hi there. This is a special preview of an episode that you can only find on patreon.com/Elwood City Limits. Take a listen, and if you like what you hear, consider supporting us for as little as $1 a month. We appreciate you listening no matter what, but if you want to hear all kinds of extra content, then patreon.com/Elwood City Limits is the only place to hear that. Until then, here's a little preview of what that extra content sounds like. And the episode is called Accentuate the Positive, which is Season 1, Episode 4, which originally aired January 19th, 1995. I would have been 4 years old. Lucas, were you born yet?
No. This was almost exactly 1 month to the day before I was born.
Whoa, okay. So little Will is all alone watching this in front of the TV. So let's talk about, of course, the theme song, which we alluded to at the beginning and which we always like to discuss, the Puzzle Place theme song. This was the thing when I was watching it that I pressed play on the YouTube video, and then I was like, oh, wait a second. No, this is coming back to me. And it wasn't even so much the theme tune itself. It's the setting up each character. They walk into frame. You see their name. They have their own, design and voice and part in the song, and that really sparked something. So it's a little bit... I'd say it's a little bit basic in terms of, it's a very, children's program. Agreeable lyrics about, I've got something that I want to share. And it's nice that we all have kind of different voices. We're all going to the puzzle place, We're going to the puzzle place. I don't know if it's exactly a banger, though.
I don't know if it's a banger. It's a little bit low key. I would say even the call and the response, which this is the intention of call and responses, makes it memorable. Everybody's saying their own name and then the puzzle place. But I actually, besides those aspects, it's actually pretty forgettable in terms of, I don't know. There's a lot of mid-range in here. There's not a lot of up and down, and it's hard for me to remember the melody of the song besides the call and response. The other thing I wanted to point out, and it's funny how times change. This show was kind of groundbreaking at the time for portraying these friends with all different backgrounds and the big multi-ethnic cast. And I think that the show's heart is definitely in the right place. And I think in the execution of the actual show, it's done. From the episode I watched today, it seems like it's done fairly well. This theme song, I don't know. This is just kind of how culture has moved. It borders on tokenizing a little bit, specifically with the backgrounds that happen. It's like when Julie shows up, we see this picture of Chinatown, San Francisco, and it's like, sure, she lives in Chinatown, San Francisco, so there's not really a problem with it. But I don't know. It's like, to me, if you were to make a TV show about, and now I'm seeing Kiki's one, and it's like this place in New Mexico, and I don't know, if we were making a TV show with a Will and Lucas puppet today, it would be weird if I showed up and then the Coliseum was behind me. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I guess in my case it'd be maybe the Kremlin or a giant pierogi or something.
Exactly.
You know what? I totally didn't notice. I didn't really take notice of the background, so that's a good shout. This is kind of a weird thing. I'll try and explain this as best I can. But when you're a kid and you're watching stuff on TV, I think I've also always had a problem processing audio that I'm hearing. Sometimes it will take me a while to understand exactly what is being said, which is why I watch things with captions a lot. So I have a memory of watching, the theme song to the Puzzle Place. And there's a point in the song where it's not so clear what's being sung. So I'm specifically thinking there's a part of the theme song where they introduced Sizzle and Nuzzle and the Peace Police. And I remember watching that as a kid and it just basically being nonsense. So it was great to go back to it as a much older man and be like, oh, that's what they were saying. Because, the line is Sizzle and Nuzzle are double treat, and the Peace Police are on the beat. And it's that makes sense. And you can hear that when you listen to it. But as a kid, it must have been Sizzle and Nuzzle are da-da-da, and the Peace Police are beep, beep, beep. And just whatever you said. There's a ton of theme songs I watched as a kid that's that could be basically nonsense for all I know. And then
also
going back to it, it's like, oh, those were words. Huh.
Every time you say sizzle and nuzzle, it sounds less and less like it makes sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it all starts to run together. Sizzle and nuzzle, sizzle and nuzzle, sizzle and nuzzle.
Okay, that'll do it for now, but we'll see you next time on Elwood City Limits or over on patreon.com/Elwood City Limits. Have a great week.